In this presentation, I'm just going to show you how to first add audio to your presentations, second, add animations to time either images or text to your audio, and third, how to add hotspots to add interactivity and navigation to your modules. So the first thing you're going to want to do is add your audio. Because I guess the sequence that I would go ahead and assemble something would be to add audio to a slide, maybe add audio to each slide all at one time, and then to go back and add your animations, and then finally to add your hotspots. As far as audio, for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to jump over to slide 2, because on this slide I'm going to be able to just demonstrate first how to add audio for these two sentences down here, and then I'll go ahead and have an image change using the animation feature. So I'll display one image with this audio, and a second image will replace the first image for the second sentence. So to record the audio, just go over to the Insert tab, and you're going to see over here that there's an Insert Audio feature. When you click down, you can go ahead and click this button here to record your audio. Just before I go ahead and show you that, I'm going to note that you can also import audio from a file by clicking this, and then you could browse to it on your computer. And there's a couple reasons you might want to do that. One, you could do that to add some music. Two, you might want to just bring in external audio that you had previously recorded for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons might be that you might find that if you record your narration in Audacity, the quality is just a bit better. Sometimes I've found that PowerPoint's recording tool is just not quite as high quality. It's easier and it's fine to use for most people, but if you feel like you want to do some testing between the two methods, that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. But if you just go ahead and record your audio and it sounds fine, that's really all you need to do. Don't need to overcomplicate it either. So I'm going to go ahead and record the audio. Click here, and you'll see it's recorded sounds. You can go ahead and name these if you want to. I usually don't bother with that, and just click here the red button to start the recording. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and now I can see that I'm recording because this little timer is going. So I would go ahead and read my script. Susan is a 44-year-old mother of 2 children, ages 10 and 4. Having just returned from a week of vacation at the beach with her family, she was scheduled to undergo elective thyroid surgery for removal of a nodule. She presented to her local large community acute care hospital midday on Thursday for her surgery. She was on the schedule as the last patient of the day with her surgeon, who was with the same operating team all day. So I'm done with my audio, and then I just hit this button. And now I have recorded my first audio file, and you can see it's 36.4 seconds, and then I just click OK. When I do that, I have here's my sound now, and I can play it back. Like that. You can see as I was playing the audio that the little counter over here was telling me the exact timing, and that might come in handy for you when you go about the business of timing your audio to your pictures or your text, because what you can do is go ahead and play back your audio and just have a little notepad handy, and jot down the seconds that the different things are going to occur. So for this example, if I play it, having just returned from a week of vacation at the beach with her family, she was scheduled to undergo elective thyroid surgery for removal of a nodule. So that's the time, 21.75 seconds, when I want to change pictures, because that's when I'm going to go to the next sentence here. So I might jot that down, 21.75 seconds, on a notepad so I know how to time my pictures. So you have your audio recorded, and now I want to show you something else. So when I click on this, you also note your audio tools up here. This is very important. So if you want to go over to the playback, by default, it will be set to play when on click, but we want it to play automatically so that when it's produced and the learner gets to the slide, the audio will just play. We don't want them to have to click the audio icon on each slide. So I'm just going to change this to play automatically. The other thing you see here is what you can do is hide your little audio icon during the show. So in some cases, I don't think it's bad to keep the little audio icon on the slide because it might be a cue to your learner that there's some audio going on. But in general, I think it's a good idea to hide it during the show. And if you do choose to leave it on the slide, make sure that you take it and put it somewhere where it's not in the way. And you can also shrink these up. They don't have to be quite as large. You do have control over the size. And one time that I might suggest leaving it is if you want to use this as a strategy for purposely have the learners click and play. So actually I'll demonstrate that later in this presentation. So now that I have my audio, I'm going to go ahead and add some animations. So what I'm going to show you how to do is two things. First, I'm going to have some text fly in, kind of halfway in the middle of this first sentence, and it will just say surgery day. I'll have it fly in where the audio says she was scheduled to undergo elective thyroid surgery for removal of a nodule. Then I'm going to have the picture and the text fade away, and I'm going to bring in another picture with this second sentence. So the first thing I need to do is to add the text to the screen. If you go to Home and you see your little drawing tools over here, you have a text box is one of the tools, and I can just go ahead and type surgery day. And we can see it doesn't show up very well here on the slide. So what I'm going to do is go back and I'm going to give that a fill. We'll just use the blue, something blue, and then I'm going to change my text to white. Let's see. And we better make it bold. I might play with that in the real thing, but for now we'll just leave it like that. So we'll have this little thing fly in from the side, surgery day, and then we're going to have another picture come in, but I'm going to wait a minute to bring it in, but I'm going to use the picture just from this slide. I'll copy it over when I'm ready. So the way that you add animations is using the animations button. And you have different kinds of animations. If you click this little button here, you can see that you have entrance animations. You can animate things to like change size and spin and stuff like that. And you can have things fade away, and you can have things move around the screen. But what I want to do with this is I have my first picture. I'm going to leave that alone, but I'm going to have my text fly in. So I want to go back to my screen. I want to choose the item that I want to add the animation to. So I'm selecting the text box, and I go under my animations, and I'm going to choose fly in. Okay, so I didn't want my fly in to go up from the bottom. I want it to come in from the left. So over here you see you have effect options, and so I can change that so that it's flying in from the left. So now I've added that animation. And the next thing I'm going to want to do is at 21.75 seconds, which we noted is when the second sentence begins, I'm going to want to have this picture fade away. So I'm going to go ahead and click my animations, and I'm going to add the fade effect. Actually, I think I faded it in. That was a mistake. So if you make a mistake, you just click, here are your little numbers that indicate the animation. Just click it and delete the effect. That's simple. So let me click it again, go under animations, and I want it to fade away. So that's an exit effect. So I'm going to choose fade out. Okay, so now I've set my text to slide in, my picture to fade out. So now I need my picture that's going to fade in. So I'm just going to steal that, like I said, from this slide 3. I'm just going to go ahead and Control-C to copy it. Back over to my other slide, and I'm going to paste it in place. So what I want this one to do is I want this one to fade in. So I'm going to go under my animations. I'm going to choose fade in. Okay, so I've got 3 animations set. One is for the text, the second picture to fade out, and the third picture to fade in. So under your animations, you can, when you select each of these numbers, you can control over here how they happen on click and when they happen. So you can do it that way, or the way I do it is I go into this animation pane here. If I open my animation pane, I can see all the different things that I have going on. So I have my recorded sound, I have the text box, I have the pictures, and when you roll over I can see exactly what's happening. On click it's fading, on click it's fading, it's flying in on click. So I need to make some changes. First of all, I don't want these things to happen on click. I want them to happen automatically. And so what I need to do is I need to set them all to play with previous, meaning they're going to play with this recorded sound. You don't want to set them to play after previous, because then nothing's going to happen until the sound finishes. So we want to set them all to be with previous. And you just click the little drop down box and start with previous. But I don't want these things obviously to happen all at once, and I'm not sure we have them exactly in the right order. Let's see. So unfortunately I have everything named the same, but this is picture 2. So when I click this, this is the second picture 2, and the other one is the first picture 2. So I want to move the first picture 2 up. Actually, I take that back. The text is going to fly in first, then the picture is going to fade out, and then this picture is going to fade in. So I have them in the right order. Now they're all happening at once. So now what I want to do is I want to change the timing, and I want to change the timing so that my first picture fades out at 21.75 seconds and that my next picture fades in at that time. So I'm going to go ahead and hit timing. And I'm going to change this to delay 21.75 seconds. And I want the next picture to come in at the same time. So again, I'll just click timing. And I'm going to delay it by 21.75 seconds. Now I want my text box to be a little delayed, but we didn't write down exactly when she was scheduled to undergo elective surgery, what the timing was for that. So what I can do is I can go to click on my recorded sound, or actually don't even have to have it clicked, but I'm going to go ahead and click this play button. And what that's going to do is it's going to demonstrate my animations, but if you watch at the bottom of the screen, it's also going to show me the seconds. So I can find out what's the right time to have the text box come in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And you can see it starts to move down here. You can hear my audio in the background.
So I would go ahead and read my script. Susan is a 44-year-old mother of 2 children, ages 10 and 4. Having just returned from a week of vacation at the beach with her family,
so it's 16 seconds is when I want the text to fly in, because that's when I say she was scheduled to undergo elective surgery. So I click the text box, and again I'm just going to go into the timing, and I'm going to delay it by 16 seconds. So now if I preview my slide, I would see, actually we'll just play it over here so that, but if you could also preview it using slideshow when you're working at home. But let me just go ahead and play the whole thing and see how it looks.
Like that. Susan is a 44-year-old mother of 2 children, ages 10 and 4. Having just returned from a week of vacation at the beach with her family, she was scheduled to undergo elective thyroid surgery for removal of a nodule. She presented to her local large community acute care hospital midday on Thursday for her surgery.
So that's just a simple example that I've showed you how to add text at a certain time and how to add pictures at a certain time. You can do this with graphics. You can do this with everything. So hopefully that gives you everything you need to know about adding animations. So let me go ahead and, as I promised, show you how to do something where the audio would play on click. So let's say I want to add an audio file that's going to start when the learner clicks on this box, or actually clicks the little audio icon. So I'm just again going to go under Insert, Audio, Record Audio, and then I'm going to go ahead and record my sound for patients. In this case, I probably would want to name it so that I can know which one goes with which. And so let me just name that patients, and I'll go ahead and record it. And examples of risk to patients, etc., etc. Stop. Okay. And now I have my icon. And so I can move my icon over to, on that patient picture, and instruct the learner to go ahead and play the audio for each one by clicking that. So if I was, I would do the same thing for each one. I'll just do another one real quick just to show you what I mean. This is employees. Okay, now this is my employee audio. Stop. Okay. And I'd move that over to employees. Okay, so that's just another strategy if you wanted to have learners just click to learn more about different things on the graphic. You could do it that way. So last thing I'm going to show you is how to create interactivity, where you're going to jump from slide to slide. The first thing you're going to want to do when you set this up, and I've already got it set up in this storyboard, but you're going to want to make sure that you've already created all of the slides in your interactivity. So in this one, here's the base slide, and as the learner clicks each of these boxes, it's going to jump to a different slide. So for if they click the first slide, it's going to go to the first box is going to go to slide 9. Second box is going to go to slide 10. Third box is going to go to slide 11, and the fourth box is going to go here to slide 12. So let's say I want to add my first hotspot to the first picture here. And I'm going to have to repeat this separately. Do it once for the picture and once for the text, because I probably want both of those things to be linking to the same place. So if I just go, I click my picture, and I go under my Insert tab, you see you have what's called an action button. And this is essentially opens up the same window as the button for the hyperlink. But if you click on Action, you can go ahead and then click on Hyperlink to, and you're going to change it from Next Slide to, scroll down to where it says Slide. Click on Slide. And now you're going to see that you have all your slides listed, and you can tell it where to go. So I'm just going to click on slide 9, because I want this one to jump to slide 9. And you can see the little preview, so I know I've got the right one. It's the one with the orange box around here. And then I click OK. The other thing to note is if you've named your slides with real names, like your titles, in some cases the title is the slide name, then that's what would show up on this list. But when you design your program out and you want to, I tell you to do a little flow chart, and that's mainly so that you have something that you can refer to. So if you have your slides numbered and your flow chart numbers are done, you'll have a reference that tells you where you want to jump to. So anyway, I'm just going to click OK, and now I've added an action. I added a hyperlink. The other thing I want to do is click this little box that says Highlight Click. And what that's going to do is it's going to have, when my mouse rolls over that item, it's going to change to a little hand, and it gives the learner a little cue that it's clickable. And you can optionally also play a sound on the click. I usually don't, but you could play a little click sound if you want, let's say, and click OK. So when I go into preview mode, it's going to show that that's interactive. And so that's essentially all I have to do. But what I want to do is make sure that I've got these same interactions on the other slides. Well, let me just go ahead and we'll put it in for our, put the same thing in for our text. Go to slide 9. Want things to be consistent, of course. Click, highlight, click, OK. So now I've got the same interaction set on here and here, and I'd want to repeat it for all of these. So what I'm going to want to do, though, is make sure that my actions are applied to the other slides. So like when I'm over here, I'm going to want to have the learner be able to click all of these, you know, so that if I was on this slide and I click this, it would then go to slide 10. What I usually do is I'll program the first slide and I'll put the hotspots on all of these. And then what you can do in PowerPoint is you can just copy from one slide to the next and it'll put things in the exact place. So you have to set up your whole series of slides first, because otherwise they won't show up in the list of where to jump to. But rather than programming everything manually, what I usually do is I would select, I've already programmed this one, so I would select control, you know, that and that, highlight both with my shift key, holding my shift key down. Now if I do Control C or you know, copy, using the copy tool, if I want to go, you know, change this graphic that isn't programmed to, you know, to copy those in, I could just delete these two and paste in my other ones. You can see they land in the exact same spot. So now if I go into this one and I go into my insert actions, you can see that the action is applied there as well. That's just a shortcut to, you know, so you can copy things from one slide to another, and it keeps your interactivity. So that's essentially how you program things to go from slide to slide. So if I go back to my home slide and I go into slideshow mode, I think it's going to go full screen and cut off some of this, but hopefully I'll at least be able to show you the interaction. If I go in slideshow from current slide, and then you can see it changes to a hand for both. And if I click it, there I am. So that's basically how you add the interactivity. So hopefully that gives you everything you need to know to create your e-learning modules.